Bow, 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 bow. Okay. Okay. Hello, Mario. Let's see. So last time I was making this cool loot beam. I think I'm just going to leave it for now. It's kind of good enough. And we can sit here, like, fucking around with it all day. But to be real, I think this is just fine for now. It does the job. God, the rocket launcher with ricochet is very stupid, isn't it? Look at this thing. Alright. Hey, Donut. Did you see this last time? You've been disappeared, right? How's Sweden? How's Sweden today? When are you releasing your bloody library, Donut? You just got home from Narcon? Who are you narking on? I thought you said you wouldn't tell anyone. You like this? Anyway, there's a few things I'm gonna do. One is I want to see if I can make the knife be centered. So it should be possible. Big convention in Sweden. Oh, nice. What kind of convention? Sounds based to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Anime, cosplay, gaming, whatever. Oh, like an actual convention. Okay, explains. I didn't realize you were a dweeb. I thought you were just a software developer. You're telling me you're a big dweeb as well? I've also just realized that the knife animation is already kinda like that. It's a thought. Anywho, if I move the dagger up 5, I thought there should be a way somewhere. Maybe in weapon. We have, like, offset. We have X offset. Why do I not make Y offset and just make it offset? You know? You seem to forget this every week or so. Anyway, what did you miss? I added weapon like rarities, which for now sort of act as these like prefixes. They're modifiers. They're quite generic, but they can modify all sorts of things on the weapon, like damage, ricocheting, whatever. It adds like a tint for now until I write a fancy shader to do palette swapping for me. It just tints it for now. It's a particular color. And you'll see these little loot beams pop up as well. And there's some other stuff that's gone on, but those are big things. I fixed a bunch of bugs. Due to the fact that you can now have guns firing so fast, things like the SMG was starting to break, and then I realized there were some bugs to do with alt firing and shooting and reloading and whatnot. They've been fixed. But now I'm going to try and adjust this X offset thing to just be an offset, because it's always been a bit dodgy to me that the knife was just manually offset like this, when we already have a system in place to adjust the weapon as needed. Why can I not redo? Why is redo not something you can redo? I don't know. I could also just see what the knife looks like when it's like not offset at all. It's very cool. I don't know what other stuff you might have missed. I've done a fair bit of work. Who's got a knife? You do. Yeah, it looks kind of weird, I think, to have the knife so perfect. Who's DMing? Yeah, isn't this pretty? But yeah, I think I'm gonna make this work. That effect is new. Yeah, this is what the thing I was talking about before, the rarities. So this is a red rocket launcher. It does this. The rockets ricochet, and every ricochet they do causes another explosion. So one rocket causes 3 explosions. Also, it does more damage, so it will one-shot all the walls. So it's quite strong. Nothing's been balanced, but it's just funny to see how just slightly adjusting the balance of things breaks stuff. I like the red revolver as well, you know, you hold left click, it's pretty good. You hold right click, this thing's nuts. Very good at digging. Is there a SMG around here? This is a sniper rifle, I guess. It's a gold one. Yeah, there's the poo one as well, the grey one. It's just worse. Guess you'd take less self-damage, so if there was rocket jumping, that would be preferred, probably. I don't know what other stuff you've missed. There's like the upgrades and stuff like this. You probably saw that though. Anyway, X offset and Y offset. Let's see, we have data, additional X offset. You can be a... I mean, to be honest, I could also just have X offset and Y offset as 2 different things, and then not have to deal with comma-separated values. I found out that there was a bug with my particles, where the little function I've got to go from a string to a vec4, for example, didn't work with spaces. So I'd written a bunch of things to have spaces in, and they were just not loading properly. In particular, the direction. That was really where it mattered. I had a bunch of particles that are just meant to shoot straight up, and it was reading with a space. It was just failing out and just defaulting to 0, 0, which meant it wasn't going anywhere. That was a bug. Hey, Beaver. No, I'm not making a Gungeon clone. Have you missed the last few years of me streaming, Beaver? How's it going, buddy? There's an FAQ for you, my dear friend. Ignore the bit that says it's inspired by Enter the Gungeon. But no, I mean, I'm working on a roguelike sheet here. That's true. Speaking of Gungeon, we did discuss dodge rolls yesterday, and I'm unsure how I feel about it. I'm going alright, how are you? I'm fine. I'm a little tired. But when's that not the case, huh? Anyway, here we've got X offset. We're just going to call this thing offset. Instead of it being... Yeah. The end of bachelor's and start of your master's got your entire life on a different track. Oh, nice. How's things been going? You haven't been on Twitch in years. That's good. That's good, to be honest. Dagger should be, I guess, 5? What percent of a tile is that? 5 is a quarter up, I guess. If it's 16, well, that doesn't make sense. Because I can just work this out with the maths. 516 is 0.3125. Does the job, huh? But Origin X and Y could probably also use the same system. You got a girlfriend and you've been touching grass? What the hell? You stopped watching me and you became happier? That can't be right. Double check that. Double check those stats. Let origin X and Y. Yeah, look, you see I've got the 0.3 thing as well. Minus. Or maybe minus does make sense, yeah? Okay, offset. Correlation without causation. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. Whatever you say. How's it all been going there? You're at the end of your bachelor's. You nearly graduated. Have you done all your exams and stuff? It's going to be a vec2 additional offset. I have a feeling this is how this works. Yeah. You move towns from blah 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 to blah blah blah, if that says anything. It doesn't say it to me, I can Google it. The city in Sweden. It's oh, way south, and you've gone up to. If that's not up north, I'm gonna be really disappointed because the name is literally up. Yeah, you went slightly more north. I see. Okay, it's nearish to Stockholm, I guess. You did a course in C++ last year, and it was the most painful course you've ever done. What was wrong with it? Were you doing computer science? Then. I guess. It's up compared to Stockholm, yeah. Dope. Oh, is the default meant to be 0.5? You guys go to the same university. You're doing maths. You thought that the entire object-oriented approach was so foreign and hard. Oh yeah. It's not the only way to do things, remember. I can't believe you guys went to the same university. What a small world. Nice work, lads. This is the animation system, right? Alright, so I'm guessing the additional Y offset should actually default to 0.5. .5 plus 3.125 I want. Or I want 1 minus that, I guess. 0.6875. Maybe. Hmm. It was rude to make you maths people do compulsory programming. I mean, when I was in uni, I remember the first year had some maths people on the programming courses, and they all said roughly the same thing. This looks normal. This is a tad off. $1,875. And I released my game on Nintendo. You have a Switch. For you, Wesley Hemo 8707, I will ask Nintendo. I'll send them an email and see if they can get Robotomy on Nintendo. Why not? I'm sure they'll love it. Alright, so I fixed that. That was quick. I've never... Why do the enemies hold it so weirdly? In the animation system, do I ignore players? Most of that ends up being done in Python now. Yeah, Python and R and MATLAB and stuff. Hmm. So this is when you perform update. Oh, it's not performing it on the... It's only performing it on the player for some reason. Now, why would that be? Set angle and scale is based on that stuff, of course, that's fine. But then this dagger stuff doesn't need to be player specific, does it? I guess the enemies aren't alt firing, but you know, the regular offset should be there. So this stuff I think is not player specific. I think it's just that first bit. Yeah, it looks alright. MATLAB is vendor locked? Really? I don't know why that needs to be special to the oh yeah, look, now the guy's got his dagger out normally. If I give him his gun, if I let him stab with his little knife. Should actually make sense now. Look at that. Oh no, his friend blew him up. One of these guys has a rocket launcher. I guess this guy. Can't believe it. You prefer not to get a license to use your programming language. Damn. Oh, did you see this, by the way? The high tier flamethrower can also ricochet, and it just worked. Like I didn't have to do anything to get this flames to bounce off walls. It just works, and it looks really cool, I think. Look at it go. Maybe it's a little dense, but you know, you get the idea. Isn't that neat? It just works. Isn't that sick? I think that's sick as hell. It's also got more range because the bullets fly further, which is a fun little side effect. Oh my god. I need to find some new music immediately. Wow. That was short. Okay. Your game may be the next indie game like Megabonk. It may be the next big indie game. It may be. You just need to make sure that you continue watching every stream. Because what if you miss one? Nothing will happen if you miss one. Life will move on. You'll be alright. Alright. Let's make rooms. What do you think? Did I have that somewhere? World, maybe? Where was I storing my rooms? If anywhere. I had like a special way to draw stuff like my spawn room, right? Oh, rooms. We have spawnroom.asp, right? Where if I remember, the RGB values relate to, or just RNG is the tile and the tile set, right? So in this case, if I make a new, just a little blob, I just make a series of random level generation rooms. This one might be a bit big. No, not the vocals. No. Phew. You need gut sword and those iron boxing gloves. I'm adding those boxing gloves now, am I? We've decided that. That's a thing. I didn't realize the decision was made. Alright, I'm gonna just draw, like, a bunch of runes. The wool hee hee coins are not what they used to be. Are they different? I didn't remember changing it. Let's come up with, like, 12 room shapes. And I think this is a floor, if not. Actually, no, this is the floor. You get like 10 when you click on the chest. What did you used to get? Like 100. Sorry to hear that, buddy. We're in a wool hee hee coin drought. Didn't you hear? Inflation. Did I finish Woho? That's what I'm currently working on. That's this. Can you not tell? It's morphed into this. Yeah, we don't have to say it's so Junji Ito-y, you know? You can say it's evolved into this, maybe. This is like the thing you get on Wind Waker. Where it's like a guy with a hat. Like, hey. It looks so different. Yeah, this is ASP, right? Export as level gen runes 1.png. What's something? It's not scheduled to be released. Does it look different? Let me show you, Beaver. I don't know when you were last here. There's like little dudes and stuff. Were you last here when it was like a Poho-y like bullet hell game? Because when I make the bosses, that's when the bullet hell nature will be more clear. But for now, you know, you can have like a shotgun that sets stuff on fire. Or a sniper rifle that shoots really quickly. Or like the rocket launcher that goes bam, 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 bam. You remember bullet hell? I mean, is a super fast firing fire SMG not of bullet hell? Some would say it is. You see, the sniper trails don't orient on ricochet. Yeah, I looked into it, and it's not a 5-minute fix. It will require some work, so that's on the back table. The way that the trail work does not currently allow it to reorientate. The position is based on the sniper rifle's last like shot. Like it's based on like the last shot position basically. There's no current way to reorientate it at some point. Obviously, it'll be doable. It's something I can easily fix. Your stream lags every time you shoot a load of bullets. It's actually the game that's lagging. I don't think it's the stream. Let's have a look. You don't seem to be dropping any frames. You just hired, or is this a personal project? I think I'm happy that you think I was hired to do this, but no, I'm not being paid anything for this. Just the occasional 30p from YouTube ad revenue from the VODs. And that guy that subbed the other day. Haven't seen him in a while. He probably watched me play Osu and then disappeared. I haven't played 20 mil until dawn, no. But yeah, I mean, this is not indicative of normal gameplay. This is like essentially a test area. But yeah, a while ago I made it so that you can actually draw in the level generation rooms. So you can see how the spawn room is the same every time. It's this sort of circle. You see that brown circle? That is literally just this. It's loaded in and the pixel data is passed into tile data. So I was just doing that now. To generate well, different floor structures basically. Did I not just save this? I thought I did. Maybe I exported it. I'm gonna call it level gen rooms. So what I'm gonna do in my asset manager, we have our load room function here, which does that. How can you make a sprite glowing in OpenGL? You're probably looking at its emissive function in your fragment shader. The emissive values. How do you know when you're finished? Good question. Probably when I'm sick of it. When it's on Steam, that'll be a good point for it to be done. And then at that point, it's whether or not I'd want to do updates and stuff. We'll see. See how this is. I expect this is still a multi-year project. As is life, huh? Let's see. Room size, room data. Plus I have to shove them in a bunch of folders. I could rewrite this as well. Let me think. I could simply yeah, that's fine. I can do this. What did I call that? Level gen underscore rooms. I'll pass that in. I'll pass in that they're 16 by 16. And then that should be enough. I shouldn't need more data than that. Width and height. You want me to create a Witcher 3 style story? I didn't like The Witcher 3. I have no intention of writing a Witcher 3 style story. Alright, let's see. What we need to do is pass this file as 16 or however many images there are individual rooms and store those in our vector. So we can start easily there. You have a vector of, oh whoops, vector of room data. And what we want is width and height. Number of rooms equals image dot get width divided by width. That should work, huh? So if the width is 32, oh, so if the width is 16 and there's 32 total width, then it means there's 2 rooms. So I'm going to say is this one also has vocals. Sorry, Hina. It's the best story since sliced bread. You ever eaten sliced bread? It's really hard to top it. Now, you can have unsliced bread, I guess. But you're gonna have to download all that stuff. Buenos dias? Buenos dias, Jose. Buenos dias. That should do. That should work. Sliced bread is good, but is it as really as good as The Witcher 3? Awesome question. I cannot answer that. Should be able to use this generate room function then, as we're going around generating the floor. Usually we do add room. Instead of using this normal thing that we had been doing, I'm gonna do this. Generate room. Instead of spawn room data, we need level gen room data at something. Sliced bread versus Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution X, who would win? Tough to say. Have I been enjoying Spire 2? I've not really been playing it. I enjoyed it when I was playing it, but I found that it didn't really get its hooks into me as much as the first one did. Not that I think it's like bad or anything, but you know, it just didn't grab me as much. How to get interviews as a fresher? I don't know. Have a good portfolio, have lots of projects, show intuition, send out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of job applications. That's usually a good start. You can't give me these vocals. I'm going to be shot at by the YouTube ninjas. It's not allowed. Alright, let's see, settings. You also didn't feel the same pull that lately it's been hitting. I think I realized that I actually kind of like some of the jank of the original game. And by jank, I mean like graphically and gameplay wise. Yeah, the job market's rough. Gotta keep sending those applications out. Can't let the bastards win. Here's how it looked like an oil painting. I kind of agree. No shade at all to the like Dicey Dungeons artist, but I guess it looks a lot more like standard now. It's very pretty, a very pretty game. I liked one a lot. Let's see, vector subscript out of range. Am I not breaking on exceptions? It's probably a good idea to add that back, huh? Hang on. Exhaust felts. Yeah, the exhaust decks are very spicy. Oh. Empty? That's odd. Why are you empty? You should be set. Oh, maybe it's not loading in properly. Yeah, it's empty. Okay, hang on. Oh, I'm generating this room data, but I'm forgetting to add it to the base. Whoops. That should work. So we should no longer be seeing the like random scattered rooms, but we should instead be seeing these patterns that I just drew. Let's see how that looks. Crash. Abort. Get max health. What? Wait, why is this 253? Did I accidentally draw like a weird pixel in here? 59 and 2. Hmm? Model is 253Y? That's not right. Something's going wrong. Am I loading in the patterns now as multiple in one image? Let me double check my maths. These are 16 by 16, right? Let's see. So I work out how many rooms there should be based off the width. So in this case, there should be, it says there should be 12 rooms, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. We get the pixel data for everything. We make a new room. We iterate, let's say 12 times. The Y is always going to start at 0 because I'm only going across horizontally. The start X is going to be, well, it should be 0, 16, etc. But 192. Hang on. Oh, I'm dumb. This isn't. It's not width. It should be the current. It should be I in here. Start X should be 0. Start X is it should be I multiplied by width. That's all. So if we're doing the 0th room, it'll start at 0. If we're doing the first room, it'll start at 16, 24, 32. We start there. We end at that plus width, so it should end at 16. It's possible we're still getting it off by 1 error, but let's see. There's no longer crashes. What I'm going to do is make the room go in a straight line. It doesn't seem to be placing any floors, does it? Or does it? Room gen chance 100. It seems to have largely loaded everything as the undefined. Yeah, I'll make them const. Oh, these are tree. Hang on. Why is the first one 0? Undefined. Now, why would that be? The first one onwards. Oh, wait, hang on. I multiplied by width. Oh, I guess it's... I thought that would start at 0. If I is 0... Right? You're not incrementing it... Oh, maybe it's incrementing... No, that's not how that works, right? Something is horribly wrong. Good lord. Quite the choice of words. Is it still 0? Yeah, I need to check. I'm wondering if it's somehow bumping up to 16. Is ++y automatically incrementing it? Maybe I need to do I++. Although I thought that in this case that would be the... I thought that was a different language that did that. I is 0. So start x should be 0. Oh, not start x plus x. Oh wait, actually it's meant to be start x plus x. Well, actually, hang on. No, this is off. This is off. This should be width. Yeah. Well, it's not just that. It's This is 0 plus x. That's still correct in this case. You should watch Witch Hat Atelier. That was good. What was this before? Oh, hang on, I can just look at the other function. It's image get width plus x previously. Is it still image get width times x plus x? I guess so. Can you please write that on chat? You can't spell it. Witch Hat Atelier. Come on. Alright, it's loading now. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, wow. I'm realizing now that 16 by 16 might be fucking huge. It's also the wrong palette. You guys need to be palette 1. Oops. Can you tell the difference? Ah, it seems to have spawned a lot of enemies. I should turn off enemies for this. Hello, Andrew. What's better to start with, C++ or Python? Python's a good place to start. But you can do fine with C++ too. If you go to school, they might start you on Python though, so take that as you will. Seems to be ignoring my max enemy thing, enemy spawn chance thing. Oh no, wait, spawning the structures. Okay. Well, the structures are expensive, though. Are the structures the problem? They forced you to start in C++. Damn. They forced you to? I should randomly rotate these as well. When you delete your comments, they still show up on the on-screen chat, by the way. How many hours do you spend in C++? I could never answer that. I have no idea. You can see how long the playlist is for this stream. Like how many hours the videos are, and then also think about how many hours I've worked. What's 59? Floor, normal, alt. Oh, hang on, these are all floor, right? Yeah. Have VS Code to Steam to track hours. Does it not already track hours? Figured there would be somewhere in settings that would say how long I've spent in VS Code, but then that would just be on this PC on this install, which doesn't really tell you much, does it? I'm having a hard time believing that this is generating rooms. Maybe 8x8 is too small. Maybe it's only generating rooms. Hang on. Oh, yeah. 8x8's a little small. Alright, understood. Microsoft knows the number but wouldn't give it to me. You think so? What's the size of the game in release mode? The question, I have no idea. Well, in debug mode, it's 10 meg in debug mode. So release is probably around that. Enemy spawn chance is awfully high. Yeah. The menu you do recognize, that's good. How do you generate these maps? What algo is it, Random Walker? It's my own algorithm that I wrote. I call it the Roomba algorithm, and it's based on how the Nuclear Throne one works. And I've also just come up with the name right now, so you can't steal it. Also, you probably shouldn't call it the Roomba algorithm, because that's a company trademark. You can come up with your own name for it, I'm sure. It doesn't have a name. I forget I said anything. Secret. Adding in walls is dangerous. Let's see. If I lower the room gen chance, it should look a little better. Way lower. Ah, look at that. Looks kind of fucked up. Now that looks better, just with a really low room gen chance. I can't tell if this is really any better than how it used to look, though, with the random wall spikes. Certainly interesting. If not a little square. Who are the YouTube ninjas? They're very scary. I want to watch out for them. Looks like the back of a Game Boy Advance SP, doesn't it? Random seed generator. The game does use a random seed. That's how RNG usually works on PCs. Yeah, like you can see the little feet here. Oh, I just destroyed them. This foot here is this structure. I need to work out what am I designing now. I'm just adjusting the level generator. We wrote this whole algorithm to load room information in via image. That's what you've been seeing. Level generation data spawned as image. Would it generate the same level if given the same seed? Yes, it's deterministic. I just need to start rotating these room designs, and they can kind of rotate randomly, I'll be honest. Like if this rotates partially, like this, that's fine. I don't know if it would ever make a non-traversable space, but it shouldn't as long as the Roomba passes through, so let's work on that. How would I do that? I'd need a different traversal algorithm. So instead of going 0 to width, I'd have to go width to 0. Or... that's annoying. Can I literally just rotate the image? Do you stream every day? I stream most days. You can skim through the YouTube archive and see how often it's been recently. Where is the origin of the image? Bottom left. Well, maybe. Could be top left. Should be bottom left, but there's shenanigans. But it is bottom left. Unless... we could also just have it sometimes use our original algorithm, and then sometimes use the new one. We could just roll a dice in here. Do I pass an RNG? Why don't you just pass in the settings? Oh, that makes sense. I understand now. Right now, when loaded from disk, it's top left, but after first time, it success from bottom left. Yeah. Oh, cock, I just realized something silly. I'm only ever loading room 0. I forgot to oh, silly me. Forgot to randomly generate a room to choose. That's why it was only ever showing me the little man. Oh, stupid. Yeah, whatever. Once so how do I do this? Const auto. How do I do this? I don't know the maths for this quite yet, but it's something involving these. Yeah, random percentage provides me a big number. So I could just be able to use int integer division for this, right? Maybe? Maybe not. 12 divided by 60 in integer? That's stupid. It'll be 60 divided by 12. It'll be the other way around, right? You get what I mean here, right? Yeah. No? 100% remainder size. Yeah. Yeah? Remainder? So... ads during stream? What the hell? You could try YouTube. $100 remainder. Oh, I can't use remainder. Do I have to switch to the scientific calculator or the program one? 100 remainder. 12 is 4. 660 remainder 12 is 0. That's not right. 50 remainder 12 is 2. Are you sure about that, Donut? 50 divided by 12 is 4. I guess I could also divide it by 100. Size minus 1. X remainder n is like x wrapping between 0 and n minus 1. Well, let's just see what happens here. Your picture, your bird, Andrew. It looks like a bird. I guess I use the remainder n trick in other places, huh? Well, it doesn't massively matter as long as it works. Why are you angry? To float. Yeah, nice. A very sweet looking bird. Let's see, view zoom scale. So we should be seeing some different rooms now. I should add this thing to ImGUI so you can see these other rooms. But let's say I make the enemy spawn chance 0, room gen chance low, steps high, and I don't want it to move at all. Go in a straight line, please. Here we go. These are those weird shapes we were seeing. Could lower the chance even more. Let's have a look at some of these. Something like this. You see some repetition, huh? You should recognize some of these shapes. So now if we give the room some, like, rotation and stuff, you can see how it generates a more interesting looking level than just having random noise, maybe. Because what I can also do is generate random structures like this tree, you know? There's no reason to say I can't. Ideally use a uniform distribution though, because this is slightly biased. I think it's fine for this. Right? It's okay to have some rooms rarer than others. I'm saying, to reduce my amount of work. This works for now. Is the map infinite? I mean, technically, you can shoot up as long as you want. Yeah, why not? I wouldn't. That reminds me of something I needed to add, which was a thing to stop you from just shooting through the wall indefinitely. Looks decent though, doesn't it? This is the idea with just one path, and then if you reduce the angle, the path will be a lot more snaky like this. Look at it go. But then at like a player size, you'd never really realize that the room is just a huge snake like this. Something I probably need to fix is the fact that I think these randomly generated rooms will all be using this same like floor texture. So I probably need to randomize that somewhat. I need to switch to some new music. What's the map structure? There's chunks and tiles and a map. Map consists of chunks. A chunk by default is just full of nothing. As you build into it, you can obviously replace that nothing with stuff. What renders to the screen grabs what would be at that chunk. When you stand somewhere, it grabs what would be at that chunk. I hope that makes sense. Just assume everything is the void, but then if you fill stuff, then there's not void there. But anytime you want to draw something or navigate somewhere, if that part of the map hasn't been loaded yet, it'll just default to void. Basically. Basically. Why can I never find my tile set? It resizes itself. The size never changes. There is no size. You're only looking at something at a particular point in space. There is no giant structure that contains everything, only what you've defined. Think of it like the observable universe. Like you're from some center point looking at everything around you. You don't know what's beyond there, but if you were to teleport to the edge of that boundary and look again, you'd see a bunch of new stuff. The stuff out there doesn't exist yet. Right? So let's say if it's normal, then maybe it flowers randomly. I'm going to be shot alive by YouTube. I'm sorry, we can't listen for Target for Love. It's not allowed. I will be killed. You need to store data. Yeah, we store it in the map. But you only store what you've created. It's stored in chunks. Yeah, it's stored in chunks like Minecraft. When you add a tile, it goes in a particular chunk. Somewhere. Based on its X and Y. Indeed. Is that alt? 59. Yeah. This playlist has all the fucking lads in it. Const auto percent equals blah. I'm just going to be lazy here because I don't care. Should do the job. Okay, this is okay. I've just kind of been messing around a little bit, but it's... oh, what I need to do is work out how to randomly rotate this room structure. Should I... What's the easiest way? Do I want to... I have an image. I can essentially view it in a different order that was functionally rotating it with a matrix or however way. Or I could physically rotate it, which seems a bit expensive. Or I could store all possible rotations, which also seems a bit expensive. I feel like I just need a different way to view this pattern at different angles. Alright, this seems to be making everything that one floor. Wasn't quite what I was looking for. See a beaver. Angles, is it any angle or at 90-degree increments? I mean, I'd have to be able to read it in a... Well, let me explain a little better. I basically... Just being able to rotate it 90 degrees at a time would be easy. That's the easiest place to start. Just some different positions. And I think a lot of these patterns would kind of work with a nearest neighbor rotation of any degree. I just want to make sure that they're never giving you a impossible... I mean, there should never be an impossible place. That's not really an issue. To be honest, yeah, it should be able to rotate in any way, but then I need to be able to... It needs to do it in like a nearest neighbor fashion. So essentially, I need to be able to take a slice of the image instead of just going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. You know, like scan lines. I need to be able to say take it from like a different angle, and essentially I sample it at a particular space. You get tiny holes that are hard to fix. Yeah, well, remember that each of these is actually representing a tile. So even if there's tiny holes, it shouldn't really generate tiny holes, right? Because it's essentially filling an entire space with a tile, right? Like if I replace this fast rotation with rot spray or whatever, I don't know if that looks any different. Like even if it's rotating it in some stupid way, the tile is either filled or not, right? If the pattern looks kind of crazy, that's fine too. This doesn't replace the path, so it shouldn't remove the traversable path. But like, is matrices a sensible way, or is that overkill? Do you think instead there's just a way to potentially just, instead of reading it like this, to just read it like this? Or, I mean, 90 degrees one felt pretty doable. You don't think Obvious Clean's Ice Bright does it? No, I don't expect either, but that's why I'd like to experiment with it. If it's easy enough to implement. I don't want Ice Bright to... I mean, Ice Bright could generate the rotations for me, but I don't want that. That seems stupid. I can stick to the 90-degree rotation thing for now. I was just thinking if I could at least do 45 degrees, it might produce just a little bit more randomness, so you may not recognize the shapes quite as often. Just to see what it looks like. Oh, you mean just rotating it in Ace Bright? There's no point. Like, it would just be this image, but like that. Like, whoop-de-doo, the floors now look like that. That's not so interesting. I do think some of the images are a little big. To be a mode to see how bad the holes would be. Oh, I don't think so. What I could do is just make this image really big for a second. If I instead make it 10 times bigger. See? And then rotate something in here. I mean, that's obviously not going to be a problem. Like this is not tile size. What's the implementation? I can just add it. If you're saying it's trivial, it wouldn't be that clean with the basic approach. No. You can kind of see it here with this one. This shape, sometimes it loses. As with Rot Sprite, if I just do nearest neighbor or fast rotation, you may see little holes appearing occasionally. I kind of expect it to feel a little bit more like this if I go very slow. But to me, these are functionally all different rooms, so it's kind of nice. I think I just saw one with like a broken tail. I mean, I have an algorithm to deal with the broken tail anyway. Tiny, tiny rooms are cleaned up, so that's not really an issue. Really, it just needs to generate some floors at random positions. It doesn't need to look amazing. It should look kind of janky. It should look natural, even. Like, the floor is not just random noise, at least. You get me. Godot's too much space. How's Godot doing these days? Is it still getting popular? I like the idea of there being more competition. You just do a normal scan over the XY, but when deciding which tile to read, instead of looking at P as XY, you look at rotate angle multiplied by P, convert to int and clamped. Oh, awesome. So is that, that's what I was describing when I was asking about how I do it. Instead of scanning like such, I'm still scanning in such a way, but I'm instead scanning like this, or whatever, you know. I'm getting a slice over all the pixels in some way, shape, or form. It's just from a weird space. And then if you read it this way, it's like you're reading the image rotated that angle. If that makes sense. We can very, very easily try this by just doing it upside down. If I just make it so there's only one image, and it's literally just going to be an arrow. There's an arrow, right? Export as level gen rooms. You're going to be level gen rooms. You're going to be arrow up. So we can just use that for a bit. Entity, asset manager. What did I call it? Arrow up. Arrow up. .png. So this should just be generating room. Let's just test it first. It's what every person in the software and game dev category use now. Oh. I mean, it's not bad that there's competition from smaller teams than Unreal and Unity, but yeah, I can see being a little jaded maybe with like how everyone's now switching to just using a slightly different engine and just doing everything in that instead. Hang on a moment. What's up, Christopher?
I tried to edit the vertex shader and I see it's just decided to not draw it. I guess something's wrong, but it's not telling me something's wrong.
What the fuck?
Interesting.
I can generate a random radius like this. What the fuck? So here we have, I'm going to generate a random radius. Is random radius going to make sense? It should, right? I hope that's correct. So here we normally get a tile at the pattern of X and Y. Are you saying instead of that, I need to sample rotate angle multiplied by P? Multiplied by P. Who's the other voice? This is Chris. She's working on Mousy Game.
Yeah, Yeah, there's rodents in my game.
Lots of rodents. You don't like Unity or UE either. You prefer custom because they're usually more lightweight. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Give me fucking Midnight Trip, dude. Alright, let's see. So normally we're doing position is this is the position on the screen. Tile is room data pattern at this position. Isn't that kind of a hassle though? Oh, this is wait, you're The pattern is a vector. It's a straight vector. It's a 1D vector. I'm not iterating with the pixels right now. That doesn't really work, does it? This rotation thing you're talking about. I've already passed the image at this point. I don't really want to repass the image every time I'm deciding on that room. I've already preloaded all this data into a 1D array. Maybe rotation is just not possible. Or is it? The new X and Y you get can be put into the same formula. Are you sure? Would rotating here not rotate me all the way over there? I guess not, because each individual room is actually still just this square. But you're saying that like this will work? I guess I can just try it. You like when the game is lighter so people don't need the top of the line hardware for it. Oh yeah, this game will run on a fucking sausage. Random angle. Let's have a look. I can just try your thing at least. So instead of looking at this thing as at X and Y, I'm going to look at maths. Do I just have my rotate random angle? That provides me a mat 3. Which is... Do I need a mat 3? I guess I can just discard the Z, right? Get rotated, idiot. And then what? Multiplied by P? Multiplied by position? So normally it would be this stuff. This is my P, right? So I do this, multiply by this? I'm guessing. No, I don't really know, I'll be honest. It doesn't really work in here, does it? That's pointless. So what, I can do get rotated idiot multiplied by P? Or what? And then I don't actually need the mat 3. Honestly, I'd rather have a vec 2 if that can be cast. Can I maybe... Because this is a vec... It's a mat 3, right? Is there no implicit conversion from mat 3 to vec... You want to apply an origin transformation. Because remember, the image, this is the original image, but when I load it in, each of these is stored separately, each sold separately. So this is the first room, second room, third room, so on and so forth. So the space I'm looking at here is just this one 16 by 16 thing. There is no risk of rotating over there. But I do fear that we are currently rotating from like the top left or the bottom left angle, and I want to rotate around like the center pivot. Right? Is that what you're saying with the origin will be 8.8. It would just be half, yeah. I should probably store the width and height somewhere. Let's maybe worry about that later. You have to apply an origin transformation before doing the rotation. Rather than rotate angle, we translate origin. Multiply by rotate angle, multiply by translate minus origin. Hang on a moment. Normally I get a 3 matrix here, right? But I don't want this. I want to... The transformations always happen right to left. Yeah. But, I mean, I've even got the apply transformation thing here. Local vector. Oh, maybe I can use that. Translate minus origin will be the first thing that happens. Which still confuses me, I'll be honest. But, like, it translates it away, rotates it, and then translates it back. In this case, they're... Yeah, okay, fine. Can I maybe do apply transformation here? Or translate, rotate, scale? What do I want to do here? Because I don't want to use a matrix here. I want to turn this back into a... I want to get the vec2 components out of it. Let's see, so we have a random angle. I don't need to generate the random angle every time, but I may need to perform all this rotation stuff in here. You'll be making a matrix that you then multiply the vector by to get a new vector. Okay. But the angle is the first thing I'm rotating. Sorry, I'm generating an angle once for the whole room. I'm using that. And then for every single pixel... Is this P thing correct? This is position within the 1D array. This is not an XY, this is a size 2. P should be a vec2. You're following along that the data is stored in a 1D array, right? You're not giving me advice that applies to loading... Okay, good. So what? Const auto P is X by Y. Something like that. But then you suggested I should do translate... Wait, remember using the same formula as before. Okay, let's see. Const auto maths, yay, is... What do you say? Translate origin, that's the final thing. Maths... Oh, I need to get an origin, hang on. Const auto origin is 88, right? You're a float. Why not? Act like one. Do I have this data from room data? Do you... Oh, you have size. Maybe I can make use of that here. Perfect. I can even just do size divided by 2. So this will be room data dot size X and Y, and then that can be shoved up there as well because that'll be the same for everything. What's wrong, little guy? Narrowing from int to float. Yeah, that's okay. If you want me to do it like this, I can. I don't mind. Const auto maths, yay, is maths. Amazing. The offset's for world space, yeah, don't worry about that. That's the position within the whole map. That's irrelevant here. Not so irrelevant, of course. What's the difference between saying this is the room data, place it in the world as so, versus saying this is the room data, place it in the world as so? Like, you could also apply the rotation to the position on screen. I don't care. I'd rather rotate the input. You can literally do rect2 room data. Oh yeah, that might be true. Because it is just a vec2 as well. Nice. Comfy. Easy game. Alright, so, you can call it transformation. You don't like maths, yay. Fine. Let's see. They want to do translate, rotate, translate, right? So I want to translate. Translate origin. Is that offset? No, origin. Translate origin, multiplied by rotate, multiplied by translate backwards, and then rotate angle goes in here. And then this is my transformation. What type are you? You're a Vec 2. You're a Mat 3. Should be maths. But then I wanted to perform maths transform. Apply transformation. Transformation and then P, I guess. Position. Pixel position, you know. Kind of going to get a little confusing with all the positions. Pos should just be world position. You didn't rename that anywhere else, right? No, good. F2. Thanks for working today. Yeah, I should return the new P. Okay. Pons auto, new P. And then the tile will be new P.y. It'd be this thing, right? So instead of Y and X, it will be sample position if you prefer. Maths is a mate sugoi. There you go. We'll meet in the middle, donut. How about that? You're a Vec 2, I thought, right? Yeah. Oh, it doesn't like it. Hang on, roomdata.size.x isn't in. Don't forget to clamp it, though. Oh, shit. Maths is fun, but only when simple. I fucking suck at maths, dude. So, sampled position. There you go, little bro. Just for you. But you're a Vec 2. Roomdata.size.x is an int. No! Oh, it's instrumental. It's fine. They're allowed. It's chill. I need to clamp it. The whole result. Const auto final position is this. Because corners will go outside the square and rotate it. Yeah, that's true. How do I clamp that? I just clamp it to the size of the pattern. Something like that. You need to be afloat, don't you? I'm gonna static cast you. Welcome to the real world. You can do clamp. Will this work? Because ideally you'd want to somehow tuck it in or ignore it. Like if it's outside the sampled place, you'd want to clamping the 1D index will give strange results. Yeah, well, it will just give you the end pixel, which would usually be blank, I should assume, right? Usually. I'm like, is there a way to like increase the scope on which I'm sampling? So instead of sampling from Y and X, I can sample from a greater space. Size times 1.5 or something. And then rotate it? Or does that not make sense? Maybe that doesn't make sense. I can try your clamping thing there. Yeah, 0, 0, and then room data dot Room data dot size minus. Do I have to do that IVEC one? Can I just do this? Maybe this is allowed. Now what's wrong, little guy? You're annoyed at me because you're an IVEC, aren't you? You hate it. Yet you are afloat. How about become an auto and then tell me what you really want to be? It's a size T. Oh, it's an int. Become a size T. Why are you angry? No matching function count found for less than void. Oh. How about that? Discarding this outside is better than clamping. That's what I was suggesting. Would it actually clamp it inwards? Like if we were to rotate this, let's say this one for example, outside, and you see how these pixels here are not like within the image? Like this one? Would this clamp inwards here? I was thinking that this would actually clamp like to like one of the corners somewhere. It surely wouldn't just pull it in, would it? What are you expecting with this function? Could you maybe write some algorithm to decide if it would be outside of a particular border and then just pull it in one? So it essentially gets crushed against the corner? Could also just discard it. Could say, could just do this for now and see how that looks. Yeah, that's what I was suggesting about iteration. We should have seemed to have fucked something up. It's randomly rotating the spawn room in strange ways. I'm not really sure how it's producing this out of the spawn room. That's strange. Anyway, I want to see it with the arrows. That's really what I care about. I want to generate a very long room. Set the extra tiles to 0. The arrows look like they're randomly rotated, right? Do you see them? They look a little horrifying, but that's kind of fine. They look very much like they're randomly being rotated. You also have to do it based on the 2D coordinates rather than the 1D to not get strangeness. Oh yeah. Larger than width, and if the X and Y are larger than the width and height respectively, I guess. Have a look there. These arrows look like they're being rotated pretty randomly. I could also just make sure to keep things within the width and height and just accept it if things look weird otherwise. This is kind of doing what I wanted though. This is looking pretty sick, I'd say. It's funny how even an arrow looks okay. Like if you were to go on like on a game size level, you wouldn't really think that this is an arrow I drew. So if it looks alright as arrows, then yeah. Not bad, huh? Maybe this is just fun. What I can do as a test is if I load up that arrow, you see the arrow is on the borders. I can really paint it like this. So we can see how it looks at the borders, maybe. Do the discard check in 2D. Yeah, I can do that. Let's see how this looks. Reload assets, generate the new level. Give the player lots of speed and no clip. Yeah, you can see the corners getting discarded on the arrows. Which, I mean, honestly, for a room generation, maybe that's kind of okay. But yeah, I can change the discard and see how that looks. It's not bad, though. It really does not like those corners. Like, those corners are immediately gone. Unless you're very lucky. How do you think I could do that sampling thing? The sampling a greater area thing. I just changed the X and Y thing. I can continue to discard if it's not within the image, of course. So in here, I'm saying final position is blah, 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 blah. What I can also say is... Zero to size times 2 and adjusting the origin accordingly. Because you essentially then want to just treat the image as bigger, right? Something like that. I should also disable rotation for the spawn room, probably, but we can leave it for now. It looks funny. Let me see. Our final position is based on the sample position Y and X and the room size, or room data size. So can I simply say, if sample position dot X is, oh wait, there's a STD for this, right? STD within, or STD ranges. There was like a range check, right? In range? Maybe? There's a way to say like larger than 0, less than some size, right? I thought there was a function for this. My colleague told me about it. How does this work? If sampled position, which is a vec2, which should be an int. How does this work? Is it STD in range? Returns true if it's in the range of the values that could be represented by R. Oh, that's not useful then. That's not what I want. Range is clamp. C++ C if int is in range. Ow. Stop my toe. There's clamp all. Greater than or equal to. Is that it? Inbounds. Maybe it's all. Let's try it. Greater than or equal to, what, 0? These are GLM functions. Oh, maybe he was talking about something else then. I just thought I'd try to be at least a little bit more modern C++ about it. No matching function. Why is that? You can use them without GLM. Oh. Cool. Why are you angry at me? Requires sample argument V, but single argument V? You are one argument. The comma in the middle should be an and. Oh. Okay. So that checks in the 2D space. Let's test that, and then I'll try and get the zoom out sampling thing working. You're currently unemployed. Have you got any advice for someone with no coding experience? You're asking me to, like, what kind of advice? Is the unemployed bit important here? How old are you? Are you willing to go into education? Because getting a degree is usually handy, but not always the right path. Gamble your savings. That's a good one. Maybe I should just leave it to you, chat. I don't know. I don't have to talk to people anymore. You're 26. Did you go to uni? I'm not saying it's always the right choice, but if you've got nothing else to do, it's an easy way to waste a couple of years. The random dots, by the way, will just be the small rooms I can destroy. I can even make that small. I mean, I can make one room size like 0, so we can just see how that looks. You can see the random room generator just going crazy otherwise. And what do you want to do? Do you want to get into programming? You absolutely can. Alright, the rotation looks, to be honest, the same as it did before. To be perfectly honest. Which is maybe a good thing, I don't know. Although that being said, I no longer see the dots on the side at all. Ever. So those are clearly being rotated. I mean, I see them here, I guess. But those are clearly just being sent out of bounds. That looks okay. Alright, let's get into that expanding thing. Because really, this sampling thing should prevent us from sampling outside of the size, right? Origin now needs to be room data.size times 2. Maybe? What's the best to learning coding? I'd still think getting a degree is a handy way to do it, but you can see if there's adult classes at a uni near you that you could do. Picking up some formal education is useful. Just adjust the range that's iterated to be from minus size half to size plus size and a half. What? Change the range that's iterated. You're saying that what I got here won't work? Because essentially we're trying to sample a position, and if it exists then we'll draw the tile, if not then we ignore it. I don't know if times 2 is necessary. I feel like times 1.5 might also do the job just fine. Right? Or times 1.6 maybe. Those outer ones will never have anything in it. I was thinking of changing x and y from being size 2 to just being int. And then just going minus and plus. But I don't know if that's really better, to be honest. Here we're increasing the size like this. And then I thought adjusting the origin down. I mean, I can just see how this looks. It takes a second to hit F5. Change them to int and do minus. Let's just see what this looks like. I'm kind of curious. Oh, you know what? It's generating it around a weird origin. You see the spawn room? Poor thing. Kawaii soul. Yeah, okay, fine. So what I'm gonna do is minus half size, minus size, I guess, and then we'll go to plus size times 2. Right? Something like this. Does it need to be times 2? No, it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be the size, right? Hello, Weary. Yeah, they are using them as an later anyway, that's true. Is the origin still half? Maybe. Oh, let's just see. Really, we're just trying to set tiles in the world. Yeah, this looks kinda as expected for this. Ish. Which is fine. I'm gonna turn off random generation for the spawn room anyway. Recalculate min and max as minus half size and size plus half size respectively. Yeah. Right now I'm doing 3/4 of the area. Yeah. Sorry, I'm starting at half. I'm starting at backwards and then going to forwards. Is that not twice? Why is this half size? Why is starting at minus 16 and it's going until 16? Hello, David. So I'm iterating over 13 pixels, 32 pixels vertically and horizontally. Right? Well, how's the rest of this look? The full area but offset to the left by half. Because you haven't done the divided by 2. Yeah. Why is that? Hang on a minute. So I have an image, and I'm iterating originally from 0 to size, but now I'm iterating from here to size. Oh, I kind of see what you mean. Maybe. But then I thought I was adjusting the offset like such. Am I not doing that? Or did I forget to do that? Like going from minus size to plus size, and then adjusting the origin to be... I guess it is half size. Size... Wait, hang on, sorry. We start at 0. We're not starting at 0. Half size. Center isn't in the same spot anymore. Yeah. Oh, hang on, I thought I adjusted that. I guess not. Well, here I did the times 2 thing before. I did that. Right. Times 26. That's not gonna work. I asked the boys if they want to play Apex, and they sent me a fucking AI-generated picture of a cat dancing. Just keep the origin of what it was. Oh. Okay. What were you suggesting then? Min position and max position is minus half size and size plus half size. Minus size divided by 2 and plus... Okay, I need to think about that for a second. I'll do it, but I need to build the image. Whatever. And then you can pre-calculate those things. So I can just have half size. This needs to be .y and .x anyway. We can say const auto half size. Wait. That's just the origin. Right? So it's minus origin plus size plus origin. Is it
I
inconvenient?
realized the issue in my shader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to see what I've done?
Yeah.
No, he says. He's
I do. I
not.
just need to think for like 30 seconds, and then I can look. That might be it. Okay, just a second.
Wait a second.
Load it up, and I'll have a look in a second.
Yeah, wait, I also need to change something.
Half size is better as size divided by 2. Yeah? Sure, why not? Cool. There you go. Alright. What were you doing, Chris?
1 sec.
Okay. Seems to be doing something. Let's do the usual bam, 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 go.
Let me launch it.
This is looking good. Hang on a minute. It's still showing like bits of the level underneath it, so I need to probably turn that off if I want real tests, but have a look. Okay, I'm looking. I'm not showing stream though. Did you want me to?
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
just showing you what I found out the issue is.
Looks nice.
Look at my little water shader.
Oh, what? Did you write this?
Well, I stole it from Ace Rolla's video, but yeah.
But Ace
I wrote
Roller?
it.
Wait, how did you steal it from Ace Roller's video?
Well, he just
Which
gave
is
me
not
the
about
formula.
3D.
It's about a sine wave and another sine wave, and I just made 2 sine waves.
Chris, that
I
looks
looked-
sick. Can I show
Okay,
chat?
but now... Sure, you can show
Hang on,
chat.
give me a second. Chat, you're going to see something much cooler than my game. Give me a second.
True.
Yeah, I think it's true. 1 second. Alright, have a look at Chris's water shader. You see it? I think they see it.
Okay, now I've discovered the issue. Because I actually don't want the edges to wobble. I'm sure I can find a way to not let it wobble, but this is the issue. You can only tell that there is a wave on the edges because this is just a solid color. You can't
What?
tell this is wavy. Right?
There
no
waves
way
within
to-
the blue as well. Because I can't tell that.
Well,
I can only
yeah,
tell at the
the
edges.
entire texture is like wobbling. But
Oh.
obviously I can't tell because like it's a transparent texture that goes over this.
Yeah. Okay. What happens if you give it like a checkerboard pattern or something? Does the checkerboard wobble up and down?
Do you want me to just fill it a different color and show you, or
Texture.
I can try that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can. Do you if you want to stop showing it, then I can just
Okay.
fill it and I can show you. But yeah, I got shaders. Like the shader works. I figured out how to shader a tile set, and it seems to only target the tile set, so I'm happy about
Yeah.
that. It's just that I realized visually this does not show waves in the middle because it's solid color. Who cares if the solid color is moving up or down?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go fix it then if you wanna.
That's cool.
Yeah, I can quit.
Yep. Nice. You guys can see my screen again, can't you? Alright. Yeah, it looks sick, Chris.
Thanks.
Yeah, look, the sampling is now working properly. You can see this room, you see like the 4 dots at the edges. You can't really tell them, but I think they are there for this one. That's awesome, right? So now if instead of this, I start using my actual asset manager things. Instead of arrow up, we use level gen rooms. Let's have a look. This should now be using from our this shapes thing that we made. I think. Probably should remember to turn it off for that. Let's see. Max steps high, generate level. Okay, to turn off the enemies. If you'll let me, bloody hell. It's even faster to just quit and restart at that point. Let's see, level. No enemies, less rooms, more steps, don't rotate. Go. Zoom out.
You know what's nice? The shader I've made myself.
Yeah.
Wait, let me actually check. It doesn't seem to have the same issue that somehow it's like the game maker built-in shader. Like it doesn't seem to be scaling with the size of the window.
Oh, it doesn't have that problem. You've just fixed it.
No, that's why I think it's weird that they don't have like that. It's a problem with the default thing.
No, I agree. I think this is working now.
Because it's like my game scales, the camera scales it up anyway, so I don't know why.
Yeah. Use that little room that looks like a guy. Yeah, well, it sounds like you've worked it out. Well, it's everything you've done based on like percentages and stuff.
I just
rather than specifically like pixels.
No, it is still pixel based, but it said I mean, it's just applied to the entire texture.
Well, it looks nice.
But it shouldn't like, because the scaling up or down of the thing shouldn't change like the pixel, because my scaling up is just like a ×3. So if your wave moves up like 3 pixels and I ×3 it, it should move up 9 pixels, so it should look the same relatively.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why the game maker's built-in filter doesn't do that.
Okay. Alright, I'll have a look at your drawing, Donut. Donut has sent me the following picture. Let's inspect it. Oh. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I guess I was treating things as being like this.
Do you want to see my...
But then the origin doesn't match, right? Do you want to say something? What?
Do you want to see my makeshift checkerboard pattern? Just to show you that it's working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can show chat this. This will be cool. Hang on a moment.
It's not an actual checkerboard, but I've just put dots down.
No, but now you can actually see the like sine wave going off, right?
Yeah, but now you see my problem is that because everything is a solid color, you can't actually tell that it's doing this.
I like it.
Hmm.
Sorry, what's the checkerboard been applied to?
The water tile.
So you could just put a texture on there, like an animated texture.
Yeah, I guess if I put a texture on it, like
with waves.
one of those what are those? The
Seamless.
No, the what's the effect called?
Ripples?
Like the randomized
Perlin
like
noise? Simplex
scatter.
noise?
Yeah, whatever the noise is. If I put like a noise filter over it to
Could be possible.
mimic like the wave, like you know, like how Wind Waker has it. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
sea foam and the stuff. If I did that, I guess you could more so see. I guess
yeah,
maybe I just need to do a frag shader first.
you can do that in a fragment shader, yeah.
But I actually also don't want the. I don't think the edges should move, should they?
Probably not. I don't know.
It's a little weird that the edges move.
Yeah, but I think that's a pain in the ass to fix, isn't it?
I don't
Maybe
know
not.
if it is. I'll look into it. Either way, I'm happy I got the shader to work
Looks cool.
like in the first place.
Why is Grandma Mouse in missing texture land?
So I'm showing that the
You could tint the color
texture.
based on wave height or something. There's all sorts you could do.
yeah, there's also things I could probably do. I'll look into it.
Oh, it actually, does it ripple around Grandma? No, it just looks like it does. She stays at the same level. No.
Well, it shouldn't because this is a sprite cutoff. I
Yeah.
think that's going into like too convoluted for my 2D pixel art game.
Yeah, fuck
territory.
it.
I could do it, but then you're like doing calculations based off of like where your shader is being drawn and then like cutting off. I don't even know if you can do that in GameMaker actually, because you can do part draw only in rectangular shape. I don't know if you can just delete 2
I
pixels.
wouldn't bother.
So that's going into territory of it's kind of a lot of work for very little.
Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
I'd stop. Great work, Chris. As always. It's very cool. Yeah, you're gonna buy her game, right? It would be 2,000 euros a copy. But you can also send Kirby plush. Those are accepted as payment too.
One singular Kirby plush?
One per
Only
user.
Rotund.
Rotund ones, yeah.
Only rotund ones.
Yeah. Messy. Alright, well, banger, huh? If we were to run around the level now, just without changing any of the settings. Oh, wait, the spawn room's still rotating. That shouldn't be the case. Oh, I'm not using the variable. Whoops. Wowzers trousers. Well, it's a whole lot more big now with these rooms in them. Got to reassign sample position. Oops. Thanks for pointing that out. I may argue that the rooms are a little big. You know what? I can have those as a secondary set of rooms. How much do I make from Twitch? About 20 quid a month, maybe? Maybe less? How many subs do I have, chat? Does it say? You're thinking of starting. I'd start as a hobby. I would not start Twitch expecting to make money. It's not impossible, but it's not likely to get off. Not get off the ground, I should say. Minus says if we give you his bank account access, he'll tell you more. That sounds like a great deal. That's an interesting shape. It's generating far too many rooms. Wouldn't you? Wow, look at it go. If you make the room chance guaranteed, then the game's quite a bit bigger, isn't it? You do get some of these more interesting structures, at least. Like, one of these things has a straight line on it. Probably could get rid of that. Let's have a look. If you were to just run around this normally. It's not generating as many flowers as I'd like, or as much normal floor. That's got to be said. It looks alright, doesn't it? It's just something to make the world feel a little bit more different. I also see no reason why it can't just generate way off to the side. Like, instead of generating literally around 0, 0, it can just generate off somewhere fucking random. Because usually I do this angle and radius thing. I could generate a random position as well, like this. Random radius, random position. And then instead of that, I can put it at this new position. Get random radius, get random angle. Random 8 radius is between what values again? Random radius min and max. So we could hook into that to make the rooms generate a lot further away as well. I don't like that you're an underscore. Fix that. Random room radius. Random scatter radius, random room radius, let's call it that. Random scatter radius. Random room radius. And then somewhere up here, scatter radius is this, and then random room radius is this. Random radius min and max, you can now be random scatter radius min and max. And then you can be random room radius min and max. So you can go between 0 and 8. Why not? Scatter min. Oops. Scatter max. Room min. I've got to stop in like a minute or two, chat, so let's just try and do this as the last thing to do. I'm guessing you're doing gaming as well, Christopher? Are you still there? Probably.
Sorry, say again? I was gonna do gaming, you said?
I'm guessing you're doing gaming, right?
Probably in a little bit of gaming is allowed.
Cool. Hey Tommy, it's pissin' time. Yeah. I added a new thing in here. What was it? Use random room chants. Let's pop that in here. I don't know what this is default. It's 0 to 100, 1 to 0 to 100 or something. And you can be a slider in if you really like. No, you can be a float. Ignore those other floats that are using 0 and 1. Something like this. Alright, let's have a look. We should now be able to spawn those rooms away from the path, instead of just on the path. I think that'll look interesting. Could also change the room angle max to room angle min and max, so it's forced to move in a particular angle. Why is he angry at me? Oh. Hang on. Oh. Let's see. So if I go into my level thing and I change the scatter radius, I can just tuck those in. The rooms should become a bit smoother. If I make it go in a straight line and remove all the enemies as well, you can see all the rooms. And now I can say the room radius, I can set that to like 20. The rooms will now generate really far away. If you want that. I mean, that may be a bit far, of course, but you get the idea, right? Set the min a little higher too. Don't know if that's being used properly, but you get the idea, right? So now no longer do the things have to spawn on the path. They can spawn outside. I'm being told to go do apexing. So I'm gonna head off then. So aggressive. This is cool, right? Now we can pop these little rooms randomly on the map somewhere, and they'll generate well, it's a little bit more randomness. It's nice, isn't it? So that's some good work to do, I'd say. Just makes the world feel a little bit more interesting. Very epic. Thought so. Hope you liked the stream then. See you guys tomorrow. Good night. Bye-bye.